a first-team All-Big East performer in Jarrell McNeil.
Well, Jarrell McNeil just 3 points yesterday against St. John's, but he wasn't needed. He's another do-everything guard. He put up Player of the Year numbers this year. And Scotty Reynolds, a hot shooter, hit 11 of his last 16 three-point field goal attempts. Reynolds always shows up in the big games.
And the starting lineups today, beginning with Marquette. As we go into the backcourt, McNeil is joined by his buddy for 4 years, Wesley Matthews, and actually his buddy for longer than that, Maurice Acker, a childhood friend and teammate of McNeil for many years in many different places. Lazar Hayward and Dwight Burke are up front. Hayward, one of the underappreciated talents in college basketball. For the Villanova Wildcats, Scotty Reynolds and the very tough Reggie Redding in the backcourt. Up front for Villanova, Dante Cunningham, named the most improved player in the Big East this year, along with Dwayne Anderson and Shane Clark. Our officials today, Tim Higgins, Ed Corbett, Gary Prager. Mike Roberts is the standby. The winner will take on Louisville tomorrow night in the first semifinal from the Big East Championship here at Madison Square Garden. A good crowd here for a Thursday afternoon to watch the Louisville, Providence, and now Marquette-Villanova doubleheader. And things will continue to heat up tonight as Pitt plays West Virginia and UConn plays Syracuse. It sounds like a bracket deep into the NCAA tournament with this field that they have here in the Big East.
Just a reflection of the competitive nature of the Big East this year. And, you know, these teams are legitimate. You know, they don't have the rankings, international rankings, for nothing. And Villanova, we talked about before, since 1951, this is the first 25-win season that they've had. And they haven't won a Big East championship since 1995. And certainly, you know, you look at Marquette, obviously, this is a team that hasn't won a title in any conference since 1997.
Brent Buzz Williams, his first year as head coach of the Marquette Golden Eagles, taking over for Tom Crean, now with Indiana. And largely the same bunch put together by Coach Crean.
Yeah, but he didn't mess it up.
He didn't mess, that's right.
He took it a step further.
The so-called Big Three, in my mind, always did a disservice to Lazar Hayward that it wasn't a Big Four. There's Hayward. Better than 16 points, 8 rebounds per game. There may be the key. And Jarrell McNeil, a great defender, 20-point-a-game guy.
And now, let's play ball.
Wesley Matthews giving them great experience. 18 points a game as well for Marquette. Villanova in white, Marquette in blue. And it's Acker and the Golden Eagles with the first possession of the game. Acker had been a 12-minute-a-game guy off the bench for Marquette. Now over 30 minutes a game since the injury to James. And a quick steal by Reggie Redding.
Again, Villanova is one of those teams that, you know, they don't have tremendous size, but they got size in the right places, particularly in the backcourt, make them a hard matchup. Marquette's got to realize they've got to play some defense. They gave up 102 points the last time these two teams met. They scored 84, but still.
Matthews misses the wide-open three, eventually knocks it out of bounds off a Villanova player, so Marquette will retain possession. Villanova, the number 4 seed, Marquette, the number 5 seed here in the Big East Championship. There are a lot of talented, athletic guards between these two teams. McNeil a miss. And the rebound to Shane Clark. Villanova's actually bigger than Marquette. We've all come to think of Villanova as the team with Foy and Ray and Nardi and Lowry. They're not quite a 4-guard team. They've got some size, but Jay Wright still depends heavily on his guards. And we'll see a couple of good ones in Fisher and Stokes off the bench. What a job done by Jay Wright at Villanova, the Big East Coach of the Year this year. And as Len mentioned off the top, Villanova is peaking at the right time. This is a team that has beaten Pittsburgh this year, and this is a team that can play with anybody.
They demonstrated they can play different styles, and it all comes down to the cohesiveness inside, willingness of guys to play roles. And use guys like Shane Clark as an example. He came off the bench and started the last 11 games, averaged about 9 points, 4 rebounds. He did a tremendous defensive job against Luke Herringold, and I think that's more important in areas they end.
Shane Clark knocking it away from Lazar Hayward as Villanova takes over. A minute and a half in, looking for the first point of the game.
Villanova dismantling Notre Dame at Notre Dame earlier this year, and Clark does a terrific job in the middle.
Reynolds a little bit short on the floater, but the smallest man on the floor, Maurice Acker, comes up with a rebound.
Didn't have to leave the ground.
Matthews off to McNeil for 3, in and out. Rebound Cunningham.
The pace is what we expected. Probably expected a few points, a few digits on the scoreboard.